follow him on Twitch. I don't know much about ItsSupercar, but I know everybody that made it into the secondary tournament is pretty darn good at this game. And looking forward to this one. It looks like we are off, ladies and gentlemen. Both of our runners starting in Link's house, getting some big love in the first chest. Weff is going to go back to Sanctuary. Supercar says, you know what? I'm going to drop into Hyrule Castle.
Indeed. Jebster finding the arrow upgrade in the chest of the Sanctuary, so already getting some diverging paths. Let's see if that pays off for one of our runners here as we get started. Supercar heading into the Uncle's area of escape. Let's see what Uncle's got for us today, shall we?
Well, WeffJebster looks like he is going to check Lumberjacks. Just a little bit of love from the Uncle. That's illegal in a lot of states. But... and WeffJebster smartly just trying for something there with the Hoarder, thinking maybe the Hoarder might drop some bombs or some rupees for him. That would certainly help, but he is getting no help right now.
Yeah, you want to get some bombs, or at least enough rupees to buy some bombs in the shop in Kakariko, because there's a lot of bombable walls to check there. Let's see what's in the Lumberjack cave right now, and it looks like we're going to get... Oh, what was it? Oh, we got a sword up there, so maybe Eka? Maybe?
Maybe Agahnim required, we'll see. I mean, obviously, if there is... if Aghanim's not required, Tempered Sword is the best we're going to see. You know, there's not much reason to go get that sword upgrade otherwise. Now, if Agahnim is required, yeah, could be interesting. It all depends on what item is on the pyramid to know if Agahnim is required. WeffJebster falling down into the Lost Woods here. He is going to find just 10 arrows, so yet to find any type of progression item here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow start, but that might change really quickly once we get to Kakariko. There's always a ton of items there, and there's always at least 1 or 2 progression items there, so we'll see how that plays out. Now, Supercar following on the same path, going to not be finding much there as well. So let's see what Kakariko has for us today.
Both of our runners here are in a little bit of a dilemma. Neither one of them has enough money to purchase bombs, and neither one of them has any bombs.
Yeah, that's actually kind of unusual, surprisingly. Normally they at least have one or the other by this point, so hopefully Kakariko will give them what they're looking for.
Absolutely. Because, so like, for example, here in Blind's dungeon, or Blind's house here, they'll be able to get all 4 of these. There's some big love, and there's the power glove!
It's so bad.
It is so bad. What else did we find there in Blind's basement?
Not much else from what I can tell, so yeah. Also, no, at this point, I would have considered Hula Hammer a possibility, just so they'd have some money, but maybe they'll find something here in the well. 50 rupees, bee in a bottle, and some more love. So they have enough rupees to buy some bombs now. So that's probably going to be their next stop, is over to the shop.
And so the question is, yeah, do you go back here for one item in both Blind's hut and the cave there in Kakariko? I think you do once you're here.
Most runners usually do. Jebster now going to take advantage of that bottle, check the sick kid, and Bombos!
Swirly coin.
That might become necessary.
Right, I was about to say, we don't know yet if that is required. And there's 3 bombs. After Supercar bought 10, he finds 3 in the tavern. I don't think he's going to be terribly upset. We got our first check here. We've got crystal number 7 at Desert Palace. We have crystal number 1 at Tower of Hera, and a pendant, I believe, at Eastern.
Yeah, it was blue pendant at Eastern, so... but I'm willing to bet they're still going to go to Eastern anyway, because there's usually a lot of easy items there, so it's usually a good place to check. 10 arrow upgrade in the chicken shack, so again, it's a bit of a slow start, but we got at least a couple items to start off with.
As you mentioned, checking Eastern, this is version 26, where pretty much every dungeon is always required in some shape, form, or fashion.
Jebster now looks like he's going to forego going to the shop, going to use that one of those bombs he picked up to go to what we call the restock hut. There's almost always at least a few bombs in there. Meanwhile, Supercar going to go back to Blind's house to see what's in that back wall.
Bombs here. Neither one of our runners had enough money for the bottle merchant, which is also unusual. So the bottle merchant is going to sit there unchecked for now. That could become extraordinarily significant later if he does have a progression item and only one of our runners remembers to go back.
Yeah, indeed. And at this point, Jebster might be the first one to check it because he's probably going to end up having enough money by the time he goes back to Blind's hut, since he did not spend the $50 at the shop. So let's see what's in the back of the well here, and we have just 20 more rupees.
He's sitting at 89.94 now. And if he picks up these two underneath, there we go. He has over 100 rupees now. He will be able to check Bottle Merchant. Let's see if he remembers to do so.
Looks like he is, and he gets just some more bombs for his trouble.
More bombs.
It's funny, you get them when you don't need them much anymore, right?
It's the bomb.
Supercar getting enough money. He gets his bombs from the bottle vendor, so looks like the next stop's probably going to be a library check, more than likely, and then probably somewhere down to South Shore if they're, if their routing's the way I think it is.
Right, so Supercar, yep, about to check the library. He walks in, and we have
300 rupees.
And I bet you they wish they had the boots right now.
Early on, you want to get as many rupees as you can, not only for Kakariko, but of course Zora later on, as well as a couple other spots in the Dark World. So, with that, yeah, that'd be nice to have. We have the red meringue in the race game. Supercar says, no thanks.
No, not at all.
As Jebster's checking that as well. Supercar indeed heading to the South Shore. Probably going to check the dam. That's usually a decent hotspot, plus mini Moldorn Cave right nearby, so definitely always a good spot to check that on your way.
So we got Supercar heading south. He's going to check the dam, and probably mini Moldorm WeffJebster heading up.
And he's going to check escape. Looks like a piece of heart there in the chest, in the damn chest. Let's see what happens when he drains it. And yeah, WeffJebster did not check Uncle yet, so he's going to be doing that real quick. So let's see what the dam holds for us here as we drain the water.
And as Supercar walks out, we're going to find he is going to get a soggy
boots. What are those?
Das Boot.
Very nice to get that early on. You always, we're going to be seeing some fast play here from these racers. That's always nice to get.
I will tell you what, as a soldier, there are a few things more annoying than soggy boots, but okay. Now, Supercar, notably here, does not have a weapon other than the bombs with which to kill these mini Moldorms, and as my father would say, I would rather be lucky than good any day. Look at these Moldorms just walking into the bomb blasts, I say, as he misses the first one.
Timing, right? Well, let's see what the 5 chests here and here. Bombs from the thief, and we've got magic cape, bomb upgrade, more bombs, and more bombs. We're finding enough bombs here to start a Michael Bay film.
Oh. You mean a Michael Bay franchise? But
fair. Good point.
All right, so, you had mentioned, is this going to be an early Agahnim seed, but without the bug net or a sword, neither one of these runners is going to be able to do Agahnim.
Very true, but we'll see how it plays out as Supercar is now heading to the Ice Rod Cave. This is a place that a lot of runners sometimes tend to forget, and every once in a while, it can have a good item. So let's see if this early check pays off for him as we get a sword. Well, so much for that.
Well, there we have it. They got a sword. They got the cape. Like, it's a little too early right now to be thinking Agahnim, but
possibility is still there at least.
yep. So it looks like Supercar going to do the fake flippers here. He's going to use the bomb technique because the bomb will push you all the way to the edge of the screen, but it will not cause a screen transition. So.
Indeed. It looks like he's heading straight for the hobo, so he's going to check that out. And
I think this is a poor decision not to check Lake Hylia Island unless he can get that pixel perfect jump back into the water with fake flippers here.
It is definitely a challenge, but I've seen a lot of racers pull it off, so we'll see what happens. But let's see what the hobo's got.
Hobo says, if you go away, I'll give you this piece of fart.
Indeed. Supercar having a little bit of trouble with the flake flipper. There he goes. He got it.
Okay.
So he'll probably check the Lake Hylia Island on the way back. So sorry.
Yeah. So he'll check Lake Hylia Island on the way back, but what he's not going to be able to do right now, because he does not have the Moon Pearl, is he will not be able to check the Waterfall of Wishing, those two chests there. If he had the Moon Pearl, he could by taking the Whirlpool.
And since there's only a piece of heart on the island, he's noping right on out of there and heading off. Let's see. He's got the power glove, so you might check the back of Escape. Nope. I thought that's where he was heading, but no, he's going somewhere else here. Death Mountain, maybe? A little early for that, but oh no, Bonk Cave.
Yeah, Bonk Cave. But also remember, I mean, he's got the power glove. He can go up to Death Mountain right now and get the Old Man and Spectacle Rock Cave if he wanted to, but the logic will not force him to do that because at this point he does not have the lamp, and the logic would not force him to do it. Both of them now are headed into Escape Sewer. We might see a high five here.
Close to it. Yep, both of them have that. There's 3 good items here. Oh, there's the bow early, and Master Sword, and the lamp. Wow!
That is the most loaded escape I have seen.
Same
in a
here.
Very long time.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of loaded Z's, but that one is amazing. Holy crap!
All right, is one of our runners here gonna YOLO over to Agahnim? Nope, neither one of them.
Yeah, they're both in. Hard to mention Sync here, heading over to Eastern. Probably gonna check Sir Hassela's hut.
Yep. Check his back closet.
Jebster getting his quick map check there very fast. Let's see what this old geezer's hiding today.
If I were them, I would certainly go into Eastern. Even though it's a pendant, I would go into Eastern.
Moon Pearl!
Oh!
Agahnim looking more and more possible every second here. They pretty much have everything they need to go straight to Agahnim at this point.
But yeah, because at this moment they really have no way to get into the Dark World other than Spike Cave. Let us see, because if we have something here like the hook shot or the hammer hiding out in the Eastern, it could change the calculus significantly. And our guys are almost completely in sync yet again. They're within a second of each other.
That is crazy, and thanks to the boots, now they pretty much are in sync. That's ridiculous. It's rare to see. It's rare, but it's occasional where you'll see both runners stay in sync for quite a while. So this should be interesting to see. Early big key
first, yeah. So Eastern Palace has 3 unique items. It's entirely possible for all 3 of them to be before Armos Nights. So if they do find all 3 items, they may decide to peace out and save and quit. However, they also may decide, you know what, this could be a pedestal required seed. Maybe I go ahead and kill Armos Knights while I'm here.
it is a pretty quick fight to do, especially when you have everything you need already. So that might be possible. We'll have to see what they decide to do once they get all the other chests. Both of them now here in the skeleton room. If you're quick enough, you can use the pots to kill the skeletons really quickly before they even spawn. And just some more rupees there in the chest. They've only got a couple chests left to check here.
Right, that is 2 of the 3 items, I believe.
That sounds about right to me, which means there's a good chance we're probably only going to see map and compass from here on out, but unless Armo... Oh, nope, there's the 3rd item. And it looks like, yeah, Jebster's getting out of there, but Supercar's moving on.
Yep, and Supercar wisely not going around to the Vanilla Big Key location. He has been counting his items. He knows that that's number 3, and it is a long trek to the... I don't know why he would not pull out his bow. The bow will shoot those, will destroy those Igors in 1 hit, and that would have saved some time.
Probably saving his arrows for the Armos Knights.
Well, there's arrows all over the pots here in Eastern Palace, so... All right, WeffJebster says, I'm headed up to Death Mountain. Sorry about that. Don't mean to talk over you.
It's all right. We're both good talkers here. But yeah, Jebster heading up to Death Mountain. He's got the lamp now, so this is where the logic is guiding him at this point. So let's see what the old man has for him here on the mountain.
I can't blame its Supercar. It's an extra minute to grab the pendant, but if it ends up being a pedestal required seed, this will save him so much time in the long run. WeffJebster bringing the old man home. Old man says, here's $5, sonny.
Seems like a cheap escort there as far as I'm concerned, but that's just me.
I agree. Good job on the Armos Knights there. They dropped the compass. And there is the blue pendant. Meanwhile, WeffJebster heading up to Death Mountain. The only item he can get right now is whatever item is here in Spectacle Rock Cave. And...
just some more love, and only bombs on top of the Spectacle Rock, so not much there. And since he does not have the mirror, there's not much else he can check.
Nope. So other than Agahnim's Cave and Zora, but Zora is not going to be required by the logic. But other than Agahnim's Cave and Zora, I think they've exhausted all of their Light World opportunities right now that they can go to. Yeah, I think Supercar may be making the right call here, hitting up Agahnim 1.
Yeah, actually, no, he's checking the back end of Escape. They have not checked that yet. So there might be some stuff downstairs. But yeah, you're right. Aside from that and Agahnim, there's not much left for them to check.
Yeah, Zora himself is accessible, but all of the other items around Zora, the Waterfall of Wishing and the Zora Ledge, are not accessible at this point.
Yeah, they need the flippers for that at this point. Though they have the Moon Pearl now, so they could do the water walking glitch for that.
So Supercar not opting for Agahnim. He is heading down. He's going to head down and check Zelda's cell in the basement. He doesn't have the mirror, so he's not going to be able to mirror out. I wonder if he will Death Warp. I did not see what item he just picked up out of that chest.
And I believe it was a heart container there in the blue guard chest. So
you'll have to forgive me, my commentary partner. My internet here in Qatar is hiccuping a little bit tonight, so
don't worry about it. I got your back. Supercar now taking on the Chain Guard Knight. Probably could have used a pod there, but he's got the Master Sword, so it won't be that difficult to finish him off. Let's see what's in Zelda's chest today. And just the map.
Hashtag things in Zelda's chest.
Indeed. And yeah, indeed, he is going to take the Death Warp. Making sure he doesn't have any accidental fairies in a bottle. I've seen a lot of runners forget they have a fairy.
But does he head... Obviously, if he's doing the Death Warp, you gotta think he's going to Aga 1. Yep, looks like it.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, again, Jebster heading over to Agahnim first just to make sure. So, again, Agahnim is tricky.
Yeah, noting just rupees on the ledge. So...
Let's see what the other old sage has hiding in his closet. One good chest there, and it's Shovel.
Shovel. Now this could be interesting. The thing about Shovel is you never know what you actually found. Right?
Yeah. Hashtag fetch quest.
Yeah. WeffJebster's going to waste no time figuring out what item is in the is buried.
He doesn't have much else he can do until he's trying to avoid Agahnim as much as he can, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that's where they're going to have to go at this point. There's really nowhere else they can go. And just a piece of heart from the grove there. So yeah, he's going to have to head to Agahnim at this point.
Yep. Agahnim, unless the only way Agahnim would not be required is if Zora has a progression item.
But he does not happen to have enough money for that. He's only got 100 rupees, so he ain't checking that for a while. It looks like that's the play he's going to make. He's going to fake flipper, probably check the Well of Wishing because he's got the Moon Pearl for the water walking trick. So he's delaying Agahnim as long as he can. That might come back to haunt him later.
It might, and then again, it might not. So sequence breaking sometimes can be a huge advantage. Other times, sequence breaking can lead you in the wrong direction. So we shall see. Now WeffJebster has not checked Hobo yet. It remains to be seen whether he'll go straight up to Waterfall of Wishing, and it's 2 items. Meanwhile, ItsSupercar down to 1 heart here in Aghanim's tower.
And he's going to be very careful here. And thankfully, he grabs the heart there from that pot. He'll be a little bit better off, thankfully.
Only 1 more heart in here. Is he gonna pick up all of them? No, he's not. Okay.
This particular bridge here can be somewhat tricky if you're not prepared, because these guards can catch you off guard and knock you into the pit. And he gets through it just fine, and he's off to face Agahnim.
So, Supercar saying, you know what, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to shoot these guys from afar with the bow.
Looks like Jebster's going to set up. He's trying to set up for Zora because he's trying to get more rupees. He's getting 300 rupees he remembers from the library.
And meanwhile, Agahnim saying, bye, Felicia. And it is Aga1 time. So, chat, put in your guesses for number of blue balls in the chat right now. How many are we going to get from Agahnim here?
Let's see. Oh, there's 1 already. The first shot's always guaranteed to be a regular shot. The rest could be any random number of blue balls. So let's see how many we get. Looks like he's being somewhat generous today. He's not giving too many out, but that might change here. Let's see. Oh, there's 2.
Yeah, WeffJebster heading down here into Rupee Cave. Yeah, he does not want to do Agahnim 1 at all.
We're up to 3 blue balls so far from Agahnim. Setting up for his second lightning strike. I get the feeling we're probably almost finished here.
Gotta only have 1 or 2 more hits left.
And
there
here
it is.
he's down. So 3 blue balls from Agahnim 1.
You said 3. Nope, nobody in the chat said 3. So, oh well, I guess we all lose today.
Indeed. But he's now in the dark world finally. Let's see what's on the pyramid since he's right there. And blue mail.
Nobody going to turn their nose up at it. On the other hand, not really what you wanted to see on the pyramid after having Aga required.
Yeah, though it will come in handy for some of the tougher bosses. I've seen a lot of runners have to go through 90% of the game without even finding blue mail. So it's kind of nice to get that at this point.
Yeah, the weekly yesterday was a pretty much green mail all the way through seed.
Actually, it was funny. I think I was watching one the other day where both males were literally right next to each other in the Swamp Palace. In those two chests there, and there was the back. We were like, both of them right there? Wow, that's unusual.
Okay, so WeffJebster is going to fake flippers his way into the Waterfall of Wishing.
Not much there.
Nope. And nope.
And meanwhile, Supercar paying off everyone's favorite extortionist monkey, Kiki, as he heads into pod.
The extortionist primate.
Indeed. And we see 20 bucks on the ledge, not much there. And judging by the music, sounds like pod is indeed a crystal dungeon, so
yep.
We'll see how that plays out.
WeffJebster will be fine that he will not have to come back up here to Zora Land, but what does Zora have? If it's a life lesson, then Supercar made the right call by going to Agahnim.
And indeed it is. 100 bucks from Zora, so yep, he just wasted a lot of time, and he's still gonna have to do Aga 1. Now, Supercar won't be able to complete Palace of Darkness, right? Oh, never mind! Should commentator's curse.
Vanilla Hammer.
Yeah, Vanilla Hammer. So he will be able to complete Palace of Darkness now. He has everything he needs. Wow, that is timing.
Good. Yeah, and you talk again, we'd rather be lucky than good. That is awesome, because pod was definitely the right play, right? At this time. But to go in and find the item you need, wow. Just amazing.
Supercar has made some very good routing decisions thus far, and it is paying off for him. Let's see how that streak continues here as he works his way through. He's still got to find the big key so that he can get to the Helm-asaur King. And you never know what else we might find in here. I've seen pod pay off big time for a lot of runners, so this is one of those places you almost always want to check.
Without a doubt, pod has 5 unique items. So... oh man, WeffJebster heading back down into Hyrule Castle rather than going up to Agahnim. This is not going to pay off for him either.
He is desperate to stay away from Aga 1, and it's going to cost him.
Yeah.
Supercar going to check the back end of pod, making sure he gets all the items here. Again, I've seen where several times where both rods were hidden in pod, so you're always very good to check that because it can pay off big time if your luck holds out.
Surely can. Interesting to see. This is version 26, so it also will be interesting to see what Skull Woods has in store for our runners.
Yeah, we've noticed many times that version 26 of the logic tends to favor a lot of major items in dungeons. So, and usually if it gets linear enough, it pretty much tells you based on what items you find, what dungeons you need to go to next. So, usually you want to heed that advice when you can. Not finding much else though. Finding a lot of pieces of heart here, but there's still the dark maze and of course the 2 chests downstairs. With the lamp, he can check those without much trouble.
Not see what Supercar found on the left chest down there, but considering the lack of excitement, I'm going to assume it was not anything particularly good.
No, so far, just pieces of heart so far in pod. But again, we still got at least a couple more chests we can check, including the big chest is up. I don't think we found the big key yet. And as soon as I say it,
man, commentator, what's going on?
Oh, there's the mirror.
Oh wow! Talk about pod paying off.
Like I said, pod usually a good place to check. Even if it's a pendant dungeon, you usually want to check it because there's usually good stuff there. There's the compass. But yeah, he's got everything he needs now. He can go finish off Helm-asaur King. I think he's going to have the map on him because that has not been found yet. Chat saying I should give him lottery numbers with my luck. No. You don't want me doing that.
Out for us.
Surprised no one's accusing me of being a witch yet.
Not feeling in the mood to burn anything right now.
Guess I live today. But let's see. WeffJebster finally making his way through Agahnim 1. Finally giving up the fact that he has to do it.
All of his dawdling trying not to have to come here is put him in a very big hole at the moment, and I don't think he's gonna be able to overcome it unless he goes straight to pod like Supercar has done here.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things where, one riding mistake, one desire to not have to do something can end up costing you. So that's going to be unfortunate for him. But let's see. You never know. Maybe he finds something in the dark world that lets him catch up. Jebster now getting ready to take on Aga 1. Supercar is pretty much coming up on Helm-asaur King now. So we're going to have a couple good boss fights here. Let's see how it plays out. Now we know it's going to be 3 blue balls for Jebster, so it's going to take a little while for him to get that done. Supercar now heading into the fight with the Helm-asaur King. It's not going to be a lot more difficult than some when it comes to only having Master Sword, but he's got the bow. He can use that if necessary, so he's got a couple options here to take him on.
7 shots with the bow, 17 strikes with the hammer. That's all it'll take to get rid of Helm-asaur King here, but it looks like Supercar instead is going to go with the Master Sword.
And takes him down with little trouble. So Supercar,
just the map.
Yeah, just the map as we expected, but Supercar picking up his first crystal. So that's going to be a good catch up as WeffJebster just finishing off Agahnim right around the same time, so he'll be heading to the Dark World soon. Let's see where he decides to go if he decides to play catch up. And we got a map check. Let's see, Green Pendant in Swamp. Crystal 6 is in Swamp. I think it was Crystal 5 in Turtle Rock.
And Stevestown is a pendant.
Yeah, but that's another one of those dungeons that even if it's a pendant, you want to check it anyway because there's a few easy items there and oftentimes has something you're looking for.
Now, what I'm seeing, though, is that since Swamp Palace is a pendant, it's entirely possible that this will be a flipperless seed. It could have been a mirrorless seed, but because the only dungeon for which the mirror is required is Swamp. Supercar looks like he's going to hit up the height cave here, which in V26 is not as hype as it used to be.
It has its moments every once in a while, but more often than not, yeah, it doesn't not as hype as it once was. But let's see what it gives us today. Maybe we'll get some actual hype this time.
And not starting off very well.
Piece of heart, $50. Another piece of heart, and bond. No hype today.
Right cave today. So, Supercar. Not sure where he's going.
I think he might be checking the Dark Grove, check with Stumpy to see what he's holding, and probably make his way up to Village of Outcasts.
But without the mitts, he's not going to be able to get into Village of Outcasts.
That's true. Maybe
Be able to hit up Alec Baldwin's digging game, but...
And of course, there's this mirror cave up here he can check.
Interesting routing choice. See if it plays out for him. WeffJebster finding his hammer. Some big love here in the cave. Again, not anything we're going to turn our nose up at.
Nope. Usually if it's a full heart, it's usually a good idea to pick it up. Because that, a little extra health is never a bad thing. Piece of heart, yeah, that's debatable. Depends on how early into the run you are.
In fact, heading to Alec Baldwin's. Yep.
Wow, right away!
Well, at least it's a time saver.
Yeah, no kidding. That's the quickest I've ever seen the digging game get done.
Oh, wow. WeffJebster had to... Oh, wow. Look at the lucky 10 arrow drop there, too. He only had one arrow, realized it. Luckily, he had the wherewithal to remember that one of those two pots has 5 arrows underneath it. Where's Supercar heading off to now? We know what's in pod, but Supercar could head out to some of the unknown here. Is he going to head up to Death Mountain? I believe he is.
He might stop off at the Lumberjack. I mean, he's got the boots now. He can grab that tempered sword.
That's true.
And that's indeed what he's doing. He's going to get himself his tempered sword. So we still have a chance for Butter Sword here today.
First, we got to have the Cheeto. Cheesy.
Indeed. Now he is going to head back up to Death Mountain. Could check Eastern Death Mountain and, of course, Tower of Hera. So it's not a bad play.
Have the mirrors.
Yeah, he's got the mirror, so he can head up to Tower of Hera. He can check. He's got the hammer, so he can check East Death Mountain around that same time. So a lot of good possibilities going this way.
We are, let's see, Turtle Rock is required, so we need both the fire and the ice rod. So if we're trying to determine what is possible for pedestal height, obviously either of the two remaining medallions, if they're required, ice rod could certainly be on the pedestal. Fire rod cannot be. Actually, no, fire rod could be. I'm sorry, fire rod could be on the pedestal. Cane of Samaria could be on the pedestal. Yeah, so pedestal hype is still very, very alive right now.
Oh yeah, very much so. And I've run quite a few pedestal runs, or seen quite a few pedestal runs on here. A couple races ago, I had a run where they had boots on pedestal. It took them forever to find it. So you never know. Oh, he's gonna check Spike Cave.
Because he's gonna have to save and quit, but he will be able to save and quit and go directly back to the mountain cave. But this is going to be close, because he does not have half magic.
No, he's going to be cutting it down to the wire here.
Yeah, this is going to be down to the wire. He can take one hit while he goes through the lift animation. No!
close, but no cigar. Not good. So he's going to have to do that again later on. Hopefully that wasn't going to have an important item in her. He's going to regret that later.
I was going to save and quit again because you have to be in the light world when you save and quit in order to pick your starting point, because otherwise you will start in the dark world on top of the pyramid if you have Moon Pearl Mirror and Agahnim is defeated.
Yeah, makes sense there. He's not going to be able to do the Spike Cave again right this second because he does not have any magic, and obviously he does not have enough health to just tank it. So he's probably going to be heading to Tower of Hera at this point.
Certainly the right call. It is a crystal.
Picking up a couple extra bombs along the way, and so far this seed has been very well paced in terms of progression items. It hasn't been too quick, but it hasn't been too slow on it either. So there's a good chance we might find at least one good item here.
True, and there's still lots of possibilities for Troll. Like that, there we go. So that is one of the 2 items, the +5 arrow upgrade here in Tower of Hera. That is one of its 2 unique items, and we are going to be going down to the basement, boys and girls. So only one more item remaining here in Hera. Could be a bust, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be required no matter what.
Yeah, Supercar not opting for the invincibility strats. For those who don't know, you can, if you place a bomb or use an item to hit that crystal switch just right, you can stand on those blue blocks, get yourself some invincibility frames, and it makes dealing with these tiles so much easier. But he's going to do it the hard way and just play a game of dodge tile.
WeffJebster making it through Turtle Room here in Palace of Darkness. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Why is it that the only dungeon that has turtle enemies is not Turtle Rock?
Very big missed opportunity there. Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah. Turtle Rock is the Super Mario level.
And there's the big key. I believe that's vanilla big key too, so...
It is vanilla big key. The only item that could have been there, because he's gonna need the big key to go through the door in the next room here on the 3rd floor. It's so nice having Tempered Sword going through Tower of Hera. One shot the squiddies. I know they're called beetles, but they do not look like beetles. Those are squiddies.
Agreed. Nintendo and its weird naming conventions has the enemies with weird names. The snakes are called ropes, the bats are called keys. It's like, what? Stuff.
As the angry video game nerd pointed out, the rocks are rocks.
He's going to take the long way up to the big chest, not going to opt for the bomb strats. So, let's see what the big chest holds for us. We've already found the compass, but we still have the map and one more item, so... Meanwhile, Jebster picking up his crystal from Pod. And
burrito.
So Moldorm has the remaining item. Thankfully, it's a crystal dungeon, so he's going to have to defeat him anyway.
Troll Dorm, no trolling.
Oh, yes, Troll Dorm. He has that name for a reason, folks, and most of you know why.
Anybody who's ever played this game knows why.
That's why I said most. I think most of us here have played it. Anyway, here we go.
Alright, there's a 1 and 2. There we go. Nice, again, nice having the Tempered Sword up here, making that fight a 2-hit deal as opposed to, 6.
And the flute!
Definitely a required item, because Misery Mire is a required dungeon. It is crystal, therefore the flute is required. It is the only dungeon for which the flute is required. But Supercar, now with the flute, will be able to run around the world a whole lot faster. He's going back to Spike Cave?
He's got magic now. He could go for it, and he's got full health this time, so it'll be a little easier for him.
Yeah, but he's foregoing all 7 items on East Side Death Mountain. I mean, he can always go back, but...
I think at this point for him it's a matter of principle,
True. That's true. Gotta give the middle finger to the spike cave over here.
And only
And
getting
it
5.
was not worth it.
And I think it's just now his pride's no longer hurt is all it is. It looks like WeffJebster going to be heading to the Tower of Hera at this point.
Yeah, I think without a doubt for Supercar there, the better play would have been going to Eastside Death Mountain. There were 7 items waiting for him in one cave. But obviously he needs to go activate his flute, so...
Yep, I believe it's time we prepare to stand up and rise for the Link to the Past Randomizer National Anthem, ladies and gentlemen. Get your swag ducks in chat.
Or it is the Swaggy Duck. I'm not in the name of DT, so I don't have lyrics to this whole thing.
I wasn't even going to try. But with the flute activated now, he can go back. He can quickly go back to Death Mountain at any time, so it's not going to be a huge time loss for him not to check those items earlier. But yeah, it is weird that he missed that.
Okay, the OG Curbs. I'm just gonna let you know that I'm stealing the goose is loose for later randomizer commentary. So just so you know, the goose is loose.
Oh, that is perfect. I love that.
All right, so WeffJebster also, interestingly, going for Spike Cave. It's such a low percentage. If I were a Supercar, I think I might have gone up to Skull Woods here, but never bad to check Village of Outcasts.
Single arrow and a piece of heart, not much there in the chess game. But there's still a couple other places he can check here. And if he wants to, he can make the run on Thieves Town. Even though it is a even though it's a pendant dungeon, there's always a few items hiding in there, so you never know.
And not only that, there are 4 that you can check so quickly.
Yeah, plus he has the hammer, so he can check the big chest as well, so he can full clear that dungeon should he choose to.
And looks like the hut, piece of heart. We're not finding anything interesting here. We really could use the Titan's mitts right about now. And Supercar is saying, yep, this is V26. This is dungeon logic here. So pendant dungeons are required most of the time. There's the red mail. So we got banana and eggplant hat today.
Indeed, yeah, that's going to be helpful. Again, never required, but always nice to find. So, and there's the big key as well. So already got to a pretty good start here in Thieves Town.
Yeah, the nice thing about having that red mail is, oh no, they got 10 hearts. Never mind. Blind always takes the same number of hits regardless of what weapon you use against it. So red mail certainly helps because the lasers, Blind's lasers do 2 hearts of damage, just like a BMO statue, and he shoots a whole ton of fireballs. There's the Fisher Price shield.
So that's 3 unique items now that he found those red rubies as well already. So
one more remains.
Yeah, is it in the big chest downstairs, or maybe does Blind have it?
Note now, though, if we are in a pedestal required seat, which is still very possible, Supercar is going to be at a distinct advantage. Why? Because he's already collected the pendant from Eastern. Looks like he's going to go ahead and collect the pendant here from from Blind or Thieves Town, and if this is a pedestal required seed, he will have a huge advantage.
Yeah. And even if it's not, odds are good. WeffJebster is going to check this place anyway for items, so it won't be a significant time loss for Supercar. But if it is pedestal required, Jebster will be at a very big disadvantage because he has not cleared Eastern Palace. He will have to go back and re-clear that in order to catch up.
Did decide out after finding all 3 unique items.
Yeah, it looks like Supercar does intend to clear it because he has bombed the hole. You need that to do the fight with Blind, so there, he's intending to full clear this. He suspects that this might just be a pedestal seed.
I mean, and again, look at all of the items that could, in fact, be on the pedestal right now. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said,
go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, Jebster picking up his flute as well, getting his crystal. One thing about Blind, though, is that you mentioned, it takes 9 hits no matter what, though it is still a good idea to have higher level swords because the range in the swords is slightly longer. That makes it a little easier to hit him from a distance.
Yeah, right. Master Sword and above all have an extended range over the Fisher-Price sword, so certainly.
All right, so map was in the Maiden's chest, and Compass was in the big chest, so Blind has the last item.
And should it be something like the Fire Rod, Ice Rod, Hook Shot, Cadus Samaria, this will be the typical version 26 seed. That's not a complaint, by the way. I love it.
The runners may not always enjoy that, having to do all that extra work, but we as viewers and commentators, we love it because we get to see everything.
I'm talking about from the version of a player, too. I like the fact that it seems in this version that even pendant dungeons are certain to have a progressive item. Alright, Supercar doing a good job on Blind so far. Nice dodges. Of course, he's got the red mail. He doesn't have much to really worry about. There it is. Blind is down.
$50 from Blind, so not... But again, he's got 2 pendants now, and the last one is the green pendant, so there's really no reason... It's likely he will do Swamp Palace because once he gets the flippers, because he's going to, having Sir Hassela and Pedestal, that's 2 good items out of that. Plus, Swamp Palace has a lot of items anyway, so that's pretty much almost a guarantee.
Now, we could be about to see something extremely important here. WeffJebster is on East Side Death Mountain, where Supercar has not gone yet. We got 5 items in this mini Moldworm Cave. What will we see? We got the Tempered Sword. Big Love. What is in these other 2 chests? There we go. That is extremely significant.
Yeah, if Jebster decides to go back to the Lumberjack tree, he can get Butter Sword right now, and with the Titan's Mitts, that opens up a lot of different areas. So, big find. You were called it earlier, Ryu, that Supercar made a mistake passing those items up.
Percentage-wise, I mean, 7 items vice 1. I mean, the odds are ever in your favor. Picking that over Spike Cave. Now, it's not to say that Spike Cave couldn't have been something like the Fire Rod, right? But just playing the odds. All right, Supercar doing the version 26 strat, heading into Skull Woods. Even though he doesn't have the Fire Rod, it's probably the right call with this version of the logic, but it's not bearing fruit. I think he's making a mistake going into this room. They have fixed the logic so that this chest will always be a small key.
Jebster now checking the Super Bunny Cave, not finding much there. So we'll see. Oh, there's the flippers!
Swamp Palace is required. If it has progression items in it, that is a huge find, but that is both items for Skull Woods, so I don't know what Supercar's doing here, because he's not going to be able to go any farther in Skull Woods.
Not without the fire rod. You needed you needed to open up the back end. So yeah, I don't know what he's thinking at this point.
It's easy to miscount, but I don't blame him using Bombos against those Gibdos. It's probably the quickest solution.
If you don't have the fire rod, definitely, because those Gibdos can give you a lot of trouble. And you've also got to deal with the jellyfish and, of course, the ceiling master who likes to come out and grab you by surprise. This time he intentionally gets grabbed so he can get right out of there. Actually, has he found both items? What was the second item he found?
I could have sworn there was a bomb upgrade, but I could be wrong.
And Jebster now indeed heading to the lumberjack. He's going to be getting his butter sword here in a second. So he's going to be armed to the teeth going on further, and that's going to help him out with a lot of the upcoming bosses.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's like butter. What is on Cape Cave today? It is just $50.
So no bumper cave today.
And now he may be heading to a item location that has been, at least in the seeds I have played and called commentary for, has been an extremely lucrative location, and that is Cave Above Graveyard.
I've seen it played as well. Jebster in a similar spot. He's over in the King's Tomb, finding $20 in there. So let's see what Supercar finds in the Graveyard Cave. This is getting really interesting at this point. They're heading in different directions. They're both finding at least something. And so Jebster still does have a small chance to catch up, only finding a heart container in the cave.
Well, see, that's why anecdotal evidence is not proof.
Now, when it comes to Randomizer, just because you've seen it there before doesn't mean you'll see it there again.
Alright, so the Super's going to go over to our friend the catfish. Doesn't look like it.
No, he's going to check.
No, he's King's Tomb.
King's Tomb. Makes sense. It's right there. No sense passing it up.
No.
Now Jebster checking his map, seeing what he's going to find in Dark World. Will he follow up his play, or will he decide to change his mind and actually go into Thieves Town? Will he clear it like Supercar's been doing?
Oh, remember he did peace out of Eastern Palace relatively early. So, all right, now Supercar, remembering East Side Death Mountain. Considering what he's checked so far, it's an interesting routing decision, because he could have done Catfish and Zora all in one loop, but he is not doing that.
I think sometimes when you remember something, that tends to dominate your thoughts, so you might as well just get it done with, even though you then forget other things you could check while you're in the area. I think that happens with a lot of runners sometimes.
Yeah, we know this is the right play, though. So luckily that's working out for him now. Again, probably should have done it earlier, but this is definitely the right play right now.
Yeah, he's going to be getting both the Titan's mitts and his butter sword. So they're both going to be armed to the teeth. Meanwhile, Jebster grabbing the swordsmith, getting a little froggy.
Not even going to have to go on a world tour, because he does have the mirror. But you do have to you got to take the froggy in with you to Peg Cave.
And that does appear to be what he's doing. He's got the boot sword, so it'll be a lot easier to just use the boots trick to full clear these pegs really quickly. So
having
yeah,
a
he's
little
gonna
trouble getting the hammer dash here, but he gets it done.
And there's Quake medallion, so not a bad check.
Whack. Right, so The only medallion outstanding now is Ether. It's entirely possible that the Ether medallion will not be required at all. It's also entirely possible that it is required for both Misery Mire and Turtle Rock. We do not have that intel at this moment.
Now, neither player has checked either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock, so it's still very possible. $20 from the Swordsmith. So that's, good to get it done, but not paying off this time. And he was thinking about doing Batcave, but he realizes, don't have Magic Pattern. Can't do that yet.
But looked like for a second there he's going to leave the lunchbox sitting there, but he does not.
Yeah, you can turn that in real quick, so it's very good to have that. He has the flute. Actually, has he activated his flute yet? I don't think he has. I think, that's, he is not. He's about to do that right now. So he'll be getting his duck. He can use that to take the chest directly over to the desert where the thief is waiting to open it up.
Okay, so both of our runners have the Butter Sword. Gonna help again. Neither one of them has the silvers yet, but Butter Sword's certainly gonna help them make short work of every boss that's left. And the goose is loose for WeffJebster as well.
So many catchphrases we come up for these streams, I swear. Supercar with the mirror can use the mirror trick where you can, if you use your mirror while you're pushing the blocks inside of caves and such, the block will disappear, making it a lot easier to traverse. Very good to quit through areas quickly.
You can also use, so while the blocks are moving, you can also hook shot through them as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategy you can use while moving blocks. Hook shot, fire rod, stuff like that. Opens up hook shot, Kate, but can't really do too much in there. And we got... Oh, Ether is required for Turtle Rock.
Commentator's curse right there. Blame me. I'll take the blame. All right, so there is one item that Supercar can get here in Hookshot Cave. He's going to bonk to it here. If the berry doesn't troll him. There he goes.
Yeah, some people don't know that gap is just wide enough that you can bonk off the skulls there to get over to it just barely. So, but not finding much there. So he's going to need the hook shot to check the rest of that cave. And it looks like he's heading over to Mire. He's probably going to check what pendants needed for that, and probably check the shack there as well.
And remember that that one item in Hookshot Cave that you can bonk to, it can in fact be the hookshot. All right, Swirly Coin for Misery Mire. They both have Swirly Coin, but there's one item that they need before they can go complete Misery Mire.
And both players, checking Mire, but they're high-fiving each other again. Nice timing on that one. And now Supercar going to head over and check the checkerboard cave. See what's hiding in there. And since he has the mirror now, as well as boots, he could turn around and just go ahead and do desert while he's here, if he chooses to, which is what Jepster's going to do. And there's our validation arrow, but Supercar going to ignore that. His run is no longer valid.
WeffJebster, yeah, he has everything he needs to fully clear desert, so he's going to go ahead and do it. On the torch, we have a small key. Yep, he's going to need to go ahead and grab that one.
And it looks like Supercar also going to be heading into Desert Palace, so yeah, we're going to have a tiny bit of sync here, at least pretty close to it.
Not see what item was in that chest.
Fortunately, I missed it as well, and I don't see any updates on the tracker, so I don't think it was anything essential.
No, probably not. There are only 2 items here in desert.
Okay, chat saying it was indeed the big key, so still good to have that. So, yep, there's another shield. So Supercar going to be getting his fire shield soon.
WeffJebster stuck with the Fisher-Price shield for now. But, so there is one more item remaining. Looks like it is going to be dropped by Landmalas, or it's going to be in the big chest.
We'll find out either way, because it is a crystal dungeon, so they're going to have to full clear it at this point. And big chest holds Ice Rod!
Much worth. Much worth.
Indeed.
So that...
Another...
Go ahead.
There's a pedestal seed. It's looking a little slimmer now, but still very much alive.
Possible, but that finding the ice rod there should give both of our runners a sigh of relief, because the ice rod can be literally anywhere except on Trinex. Because Trinex is its only dependency in the entire game.
Chat's still hoping for possibly Kane on pedestal.
That is a possibility. Kane of Samaria could absolutely be on the pedestal.
Yes, indeed, because it's not. And the Kane is needed for 2 crystal dungeons, but it's not needed for any of the pendant dungeons, so it's very possible.
Right. And the hookshot cannot be on the pedestal, but the fire rod could be.
We don't know yet because they still don't have the book. They cannot check the pedestal yet. So right now we're still up in the air. It could be anything. Jebster now working on Landmalas and Supercar right behind him on that. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. There's going to be another high 5 there. And Jebster taking quick work with thanks to that butter sword.
Only takes 2 shots each with the butter sword. So WeffJebster picking up his crystal for Desert Palace, and where does he go from here? Does he dive into Swamp Palace? Knowing that there's a possibility of 5 items. 5, 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, 4. There's a possibility of 4 items before the big key chest.
And if one of them is the big key, that big key chest could become available. Always a possibility there. And of course, vanilla hookshot. We've already seen 1 vanilla item so far.
We're going to check Agahnim's cave. We know that's going to be a disappointment, as we know that WeffJebster checking checkerboard cave here is also going to be a disappointment.
Yep, Jebster also ignoring the validation arrow. So where is he off to? Since he's already checked Agahnim, he knows he's off to his next location. And let's see, where's he going? Thinking maybe Village about? No. Where is he? He's thinking about it.
He can do no, he can't do Ice Palace. He doesn't have the flippers, so
no, those are in Skull Woods, and he is still yet to clear that.
It looks like that's where he's headed, though.
He'll be happy to see
because Thieves Town.
Yeah, and but he'll be happy because I believe the flippers were in Skull Woods, so he's gonna want to check that at least.
Supercar going.
Yeah, he can't do anything else in Skull Woods, and he's already cleared Thieves Town, so what's he doing over here?
He could. I take that back. I mean, even without the flippers, Chad rightfully pointing out that you can fake flippers into Ice Palace, but Ice Palace with only 3 items. Okay, Supercar's going on Froggy World Tour. WeffJebster making the right call here, going to Skull Woods. That will net him the flippers.
Indeed, and in his chat, remember, one person was thinking Ether might be a Fat Fairy, but that's not possible because you would need to clear Turtle Rock, which does require Ether, so Ether cannot be at Fat Fairy.
But it could be on the pedestal.
That's true. So many potential required items at the pedestal.
We got 3. Right, there's WeffJebster's flips. He's got to be happy with that. Supercar headed for disappointment here with both the swordsmiths and the lunchbox, should he choose to try and open it.
And so he's going to check the peg cave and get his quack medallion here in just a second.
WeffJebster smartly gets out of Skull Woods, just mirrors out so he can flute. He is going.
I think he's going for Ice Palace.
He's going for Ice Palace. This could be big. This could be really big.
Yeah, he has the Bombos medallion, so he could technically full clear it. He's got the hammer as well, so he's got everything he needs to full clear it.
Because nothing, unless this is a pedestal required seed, nothing in Blinds or in Thieves Town was required. Just some stuff that was really nice to have. So, and the reason I mentioned that is because Supercar did clear Thieves Town full. WeffJebster has yet to even go in. So a full clear of Ice Palace here might be the right decision.
So like I said earlier, WeffJebster was a bit behind, but this play could catch him back up, put him in the lead if he finds anything big here. So, oh, it's picking up. There's the fire rod.
Very nicely done. So now he can clear Skull Woods, finally.
Yeah, so Weff definitely making the right call here, hitting Ice Palace when he did. He's going to definitely pay for that, though I have a feeling Supercar is not going to be too far behind.
Perhaps, unless Supercar, because considering where he is, unless Supercar decides he's going to check Pendant Swamp Palace. And Swamp Palace has 6 unique items. It will have 7 because it's got the green pendant.
And since it is the pendant, that's technically 8 because that will mean he can pull the pedestal.
Right.
And that is indeed the play he's making now. Bear in mind, he needs to find the hook shot in there in order to full clear it, because he can't get into the back end of Swamp Palace without the hook shot.
Has WeffJebster been practicing his IPBJ because, ooh, this is it the first time.
Falls off the second time. He's having a little trouble with it, but
all right, he's got plenty of hearts. There he goes. Third time's a charm.
Indeed. You want to be careful of that fire wheel, because that thing can knock you off, and then you got to start all over again. I've seen plenty of runners have that happen to them.
Happened to me more times than I care to admit.
I probably wouldn't do much better. Don't feel bad.
WeffJebster making short work with the Penguigators there. Supercar finding 20 rupees in the first chest of Swamp Palace. Yeah, without a hook shot, I don't know about this play. I know we've said it before. I just wanted to make sure my concurrence was on the record.
Yeah, understandable there. With hookshot still being elusive, this is a risky play. If he doesn't find it, he can't clear it. So let's see. Let's see which one of them has the bigger gamble here. So far, it's looking to be in WeffJebster's advantage, but we'll see how that changes.
Interesting play here. He finds the small key and runs through this way. It's probably the right play.
Of course, our chat always coming up with the most trolliest ways this game can troll you. Book on pedestal, mushroom on Bombos tablet into Ganon Witch.
Hey, I like it.
Oh, Supercar finding the hook shot, vanilla.
Wow. In the vanilla dungeon, not in its vanilla location, but in... Wow. And is he going to skip left side? No, he's not. He's going left side. Probably the right call at this point. There's the half magic for WeffJebster.
good time to find that in the Ice Palace. Ice Palace, one of the more magic-heavy dungeons in the game, so it's a good time to have that.
If you run out of magic on Cold Stare before you break his shell, it is, or if you die on Cold Stare, it is probably the longest way back through a dungeon, because at least in Turtle Rock you can do a safety, because you do have to leave that dungeon about midway through, and it will start you off halfway through the dungeon if you die.
Yeah, but both players making equally good plays here. The question is the pedestal the right play? And if it is, Supercar is going to immediately take an amazing lead here. But WeffJebster is certainly not making a bad play on his end.
Yeah, and remember, a lot of runners try to save Ice Palace for last because it is so quick in go mode. Same with Swamp Palace. So it's interesting that the two dungeons that most runners try to save till last, they're going to have to go into and full clear. And perfect Cold Stare by WeffJebster. Absolutely perfect. Could not have done that any better.
And there's the Ether Medallion.
Oh my.
Oh, Swamp Palace definitely required to run in order to full clear this game. So Supercar once again making the right call. His routing has paid off in so many ways so far.
Only one item left for go mode, at least for Supercar. No. Supercar still needs Fire Rod. He's got to go through. Ice Palace for the Fire Rod, but there's only one item left for go mode for which we do not collectively know the location.
Yeah, we have one item left for what I'd say commentators go mode. Nonetheless,
Glitch where you can pick. There's a glitch with that statue where you can pick up the skull next to it while you're still pushing the statue, and so you don't have to go around the statue.
I've seen a lot of runners do that, definitely. But yeah,
WeffJebster probably making a good call here too, going to finish off Skull Woods. It'd be really convenient if Mothula dropped the book, but I don't think it can.
No, I think they've already found all the items there, so I don't think that's Oh!
And that's gonna be Kane!
My God, it's Kane!
Swamp Palace is a gold mine in this seed. Absolute gold mine.
Wow. So commentators go mode in effect. We know where all the items needed are. Supercar only missing one of them. Man, did he make a call or what?
Difficult gamble, as we said, going into Pendant Skull Woods with no hook shot. Now, we know, although Supercar doesn't know, we know that Pedestal is not going to have any progression item on it. But I think he's probably just going to go ahead and complete this dungeon now. WeffJebster heading on into Skull Woods. He will complete it. It is a crystal, but he is still going to need the hook shot and the Cane of Samaria. Supercar is at a distinct advantage at this point.
He made a big gamble checking those pendant dungeons without knowing if it was pedestal required, and boy did it pay off big time. Even without the pedestal itself, so yeah, Supercar taking a huge lead here.
What a seed. What a seed. I mean, because, you know, a lot of times you'll see one required item in a pendant dungeon, right? But Swamp Palace, wow. Hookshot, Cane of Samaria, Ether, 3 required items.
And with him having both Red Mail and Butter Sword, he is armed to the teeth. He will have no problem with Argus here, taking him out very quickly, just as Jebster is getting ready to take on Mothula. So yeah, big time play. And again, Supercar could still check both Sarhasla and the pedestal to see what's there. I wouldn't even be surprised if he decides to check the pedestal anyway after getting the fire rod, because it's right there and he's got everything he needs for it.
Yeah, not only that, yeah, he's got to go to Skull Woods anyway. So I would not be surprised to see a blind pedestal pull here. WeffJebster unfortunately will be unable to do that because he has only a single pendant. No, he has no pendants. I sit corrected.
He has not checked any. He's not full cleared any of the dungeons, and while he has checked one of them, he's not checked the other two. And while Thieves Town didn't have much in terms of progression, Swamp Palace certainly does. So it might be a while before he decides to check that.
The only thing that could be even luckier for Supercar is for him to blind pull pedestal and have it be silvers.
Yeah, at that point he is set. He will have everything he could possibly need. That is amazing. It looks like Supercar gonna load up on some potions while he's in town. Oh no, maybe not. I guess what is he doing? He's just double checking, but yeah, he's gonna get a couple. But he doesn't have. He's still got bees in both his bottles.
Detour, please.
Hey, both of them are good bees too. Both of them golden bees. The odds of that, one maybe, but not both.
Trying to set up a bomb jump here. At some point, you got to think maybe I ought to just do it the vanilla way.
No,
right,
he got it,
and
he gets a mushroom for his efforts.
We can flute directly over to Witch. We can see what item is sitting at the Witch. It's probably where he's going to head right now, if I had my guess.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, Supercar getting $20 from the catfish says, "No thanks, don't need it."
So Supercar is going to be looking hard for that fire rod. Don't know that he's really going to consider Ice Palace for the fire rod.
Perhaps not, but eventually he will have to go in there anyway, so he will eventually hit it. And he'll complete all the other dungeons along the way, so he's not exactly going to be at a significant time loss to do so.
So where's WeffJebster heading off to? He might be heading on into Thieves Town, which unfortunately is gonna cost him even more time here.
And
Supercar forgetting he's already gone to Zora.
or either that or he doesn't have the money for it.
Oh yeah, that's right. He didn't have the money. That's right.
And no, Jebster not going into Thieves Town. Where is he going? Maybe Digging Game? I don't think he completed that one yet. And Supercar looks like he's going to be turning in his green pendant here shortly. Let's see what Sarhasla has for him today.
Jebster finding his piece of heart at Digging Game, not at all what he wants.
And Sarhasla has a bug net for him for that green pendant.
Alright, WeffJebster going the wrong way. He is not headed to Swamp Palace. We know that is his best option right now, but he is not heading there. Looks like he may be going to Thieves Town. Yep. The Supercar going to blind pull the pedestal.
He is. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he does not have fire rod, so he's not going to be able to piggyback off of Mothula, but he's going to pull pedestal. We will see what it is, but we know it's not going to be anything that's required. It would be amazing if it were silvers.
That's the one thing we can expect. So let's get some pedestal hype here, folks. Let's see what's on here. Just a piece of heart. A little bit of a time loss there, but at the same time, you know, he got some good items out of the dungeon, so not completely unnecessary to complete them.
Supercar doing probably the right play with his knowledge right now. Misery Mire.
Makes sense. He probably thinks the fire rod would be there because that's the only dungeon that would not need it that they would be hiding in. Obviously, we know better, but he'll get to Ice Palace soon enough.
Sure. It's definitely his next play after Misery Mire. And yeah, Supercar will have completed an all dungeons run.
Getting this first room done here in Misery Mire. No, always a bit troublesome. Dealing with those whiz robes.
The biggest problem's that darn BMOS.
Yeah, I was always grateful in later Zelda games where they made the BMOS destroyable with bombs, but in this game, that's not the case.
Supercar just on a search for the, well, he's going to full clear Mire because he's not going to find the item that he's looking for, which is the fire rod.
Yeah, but again, silvers could still be here, so you know, who knows what we'll find while we're here.
$20. That's one of only. I can't remember. Is it 2 or 3? It's 2 items in Misery Mire, so one of them there is at $20.
Yeah, there are a lot of chests in Mire, but most of them are keys because there's a lot of locked doors in Mire, so there's not many good items to find here. He's going to head upstairs. Meanwhile, Weff going to check the big chest here. I don't recall... Oh, no, Supercar did check this.
Yeah, he did. It was the compass. Oh, forgive me, it's not the company, it's the hour. That yawn.
It's alright. It's alright. Oh, we got literacy. You could have used that earlier.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
No, Supercar needs to be careful.
Both items. Yeah. And he does not have a fire rod, so he's going to have to do this the long way.
Yeah, I said before that if you have the fire rod, you can use it while pushing those blocks, and it will go over the blocks to hit the torch, but since he doesn't have the fire rod, he won't be able to do that. But thankfully, he doesn't have too much trouble getting those torches lit.
Well, WeffJebster taking on blind, going to make short work of blind there. What with 13 hearts, butter sword, well, butter sword doesn't really matter, but, and red mail, relatively academic.
And Jebster taking out blind relatively easily. So he's got his red pendant, but again, at this point, we know he doesn't need to do all the pendant dungeons now, so a little slight time save not doing the Armos Knights, but at this point, it's pretty much Supercar's game right now.
WeffJebster has got to make a play on Swamp Palace. He is going the wrong way if he's trying to go to Swamp Palace.
I don't know where he's going at this point. There's nothing up here for him to check as far as I know. I mean, I don't think he's checked Bumper Cave yet. He was probably checking to see if it was there. Not going to be happy with what he finds there. Supercar, go to check the big case. Doesn't have the big key for it yet.
And which means he's going to have to go all the way around.
Because it just happens to be right in the next room. Oh,
Yep.
that's almost funny.
He knows. Wait. He's found 2 items. I think he's just double checking here because he's found 2 items. This is going to be the map or the compass. Yep.
Surprised, yeah, and thankfully he's done pretty well with his little. Oh, and just as I say that, it takes a hit. Commentator's curse strikes again. He's going to use up one of his blue potions. He's not risking it.
It's man, with the way you've been calling stuff tonight, maybe these 2 runners are probably going to owe you a punch in the arm each. All the commentator's curses going on here.
Now it's my turn to take full responsibility. I've been calling him like crazy.
WeffJebster now, he's going to be checking catfish. Not going to be helpful. Did already check Waterfall of Wishing and Zora earlier, so this is way out of the way for him right now, and it's not going to bear any fruit.
Yeah, Jebster seems to be one of those that tries to avoid unnecessary dungeons as much as he can, and unfortunately that's going to cost him, considering that one of those unnecessary dungeons has all the necessary items.
That was a good idea to have and a good routing philosophy to have in prior versions of the logic, not this version.
No, it's like I said, dungeons tend to be favorable for items here, and we've seen that happen in spades this run. So even if it's a pendant dungeon, sometimes it's a good idea just to check the items, because you never know. Supercar now taking on Vitreous. With Butter Sword and the cape, he's going to have little trouble with the smaller eyeballs. She's still got to watch out for those lightning bolts from the big eye. But now that he's popped out, he's got the Butter Sword. He should have no trouble clearing this. And there we go. Very quick kill of Vitreous there. Nicely done for Supercar.
And the same number of bow shots as it was swipes with the Butter Sword.
Oh, Jebster heading to Swamp. I think he's finally going to make the play.
Yeah, he's going to be at a serious disadvantage here. But you never know. Anything can happen.
It's never over until we get a dot done. That's what I say.
Yeah, I was about to say, I could have sworn Supercar had done Desert already.
Yep, he has. Yeah, he has. He's going to Ice Palace. He's on his on the right track now. He will be. He is coming up on go mode, folks.
I wonder if that Freezor is far enough out of the wall. Yeah, it was. Okay.
Just out enough. You gotta make sure he's out of the wall before you bombos, otherwise he won't get hit with it. So you do have to be careful about that. Also, as chat points out, both these runners doing the opposite dungeons they did earlier at the exact same time, so the timing on that is very interesting.
And as Chad is also pointing out, Supercar does still need to go back to Skull Woods. That's a little bit of a time sink, but not too terribly much. The longest part is actually walking through there to get to Skull Woods.
Indeed, Supercar getting his fire out. Ladies and gentlemen, Supercar is in Go mode! So yeah, Supercar now gonna probably go right through here, finish off Cold Stare, head back. take care of Mothula, and then, of course, we still have Turtle Rock waiting for us.
So finding the fire rod that early in Ice Palace means he can Ice Palace bomb jump and then just head directly to Cold Stare. Does not need to open another chest at all.
The only reason he would is to check for silvers. Don't think he's going to do that.
Not with Buttersword. Supercar is not using the bomb jump.
That is interesting. That's a rare thing. He's going to have to go the long way around to get to Cold Stare now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he has Cane of Samaria, so he won't have to do the full loop, but
Chat also mentioning, yeah, Ganon's tower could have the silvers, but the question is, will he find them before he finds the big key and decides not to check? So we don't really know.
Supercar still opening chests here in Ice Palace. Does he not realize he's in go mode?
Don't think he does. Maybe he doesn't. Either that, or like I said, he might be looking for those silvers.
With 13 hearts, butter sword, and red mail. I don't know why you would bother looking for silvers.
Could just be personal preference. Maybe he just feels more comfortable having them. You never know.
He does not, there's a chat asking if he needs the big key. He does not need the big key in Ice Palace. If you do the Ice Palace bomb jump, you do not need the big key at all for this dungeon.
Jebster now picked up his ether medallion, so he's only one cane away, which he will find if he checks the rest of his chest. Will find on the way to finishing up here Swamp Palace. So he's about to enter go mode here shortly.
This is some question in the chat about Buttersword. So Buttersword is the same number of spins as Tempered for a Silverless Ganon. However, it is half the number of slashes for the first two stages of Ganon with the Buttersword.
Well, it's a good thing Supercar did check the rest of the chests here in Ice Palace. He got his half magic, which will come in handy, especially for Trinex, because you need a lot of magic to take that out.
Another bottle.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that
first time through.
Yeah, we both missed that one. Well, since we're seeing a lot of similar stuff, I'm going to take this up. Actually, when we save that, because Jebster's just getting his cane, so he is now officially in go mode.
I think I'm gonna try reading your mind, Shades, and I'm going to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to remind everyone to follow these runners here on Twitch. They are putting in some serious work for you tonight, so give them a follow.
Indeed. Make sure you also give a follow to our tracker, Flaffykins, and our restreamer, Jighart. Very cool guy. And of course, give a follow to this guy over here, Phantom Ryu. Very cool dude.
And the Shades as well. Just follow everybody, because we're all putting in work for you. We never stop working for you here on Randomizer Mania and Speed Gaming.
Very nice. And indeed, you did read my mind very clearly. WeffJebster now heading into Misery Mire. Now that he is in go mode, he will probably clear this a lot faster now. So as Supercar makes his way over to Cold Stare. So we've got ourselves a good race going at this point.
Got to give the advantage right now, though, to Supercar. He is about to complete Ice Palace, and even though And even though he's got to go complete Skull Woods as well, oh man, never mind. This is going to be close, but I still think Supercar has got an advantage. He does not get the perfect cold stare like WeffJebster did. This is going to cost him a minute, but with Gold Sword, not too long.
Oh, he opted to use more Fire Rod strats than anything, but nonetheless, not a bad kill there for Supercar. He gets his 5th crystal, and yeah, I think his next play is going to be Skull Woods to finish that up real quick before he heads to Turtle Rock.
Always save Turtle Rock for last. That way, you just get to walk right next door for Ganon's tower.
Makes sense to me. Unfortunately, Jebster's going to have a little trouble because we know where the big key is in Misery Mire. It's going to take him a while to get to that. So this gives Supercar more of a chance to extend his lead.
Yeah, so WeffJebster, he's going to end up full clearing Misery Mire because he is going the standard route. Most people do not go right side Mire.
And indeed, after stocking up on some more potions, Supercar heading to Skull Woods. He's going to clear that relatively quickly. So, yeah, this is looking like Supercar's race at this point.
We shall see. No, yeah, the odds of him at all falling to Mothula with Butter Sword, Red Mail, and 14 hearts is just not going to happen. Okay, sorry, 13 hearts. But
yeah, you'd have to be a pretty bad player to fall to Mothula with that setup, and these guys don't enter this tournament by being bad players, so I highly doubt that's going to happen.
As you see here, if you're watching Supercar, Go Mode Skull Woods is relatively quick.
Yeah, all you need is the big key, which he already got, and of course grab that small key on the way to save yourself some time. Very easy to do. So yeah, he is in really good position to clear this quickly.
Yes, you're still looking for the big key in Mire. Let's see. Yeah, no, Supercar definitely going to have an advantage here because he's going to kill Mothula about the time that WeffJebster finds the big key. So, or not, he's getting trolled in the Gibdo room there.
Yeah, but with half magic, because I don't think Jebster had half magic when he fought Mothula earlier. Oh, no, he did. They both had to get in a nice palette. So, but still, with his list setup, it would be very shocking to see him fall to Mothula here. This should be a really quick fight. Opting to go for Fire Rod strats, even though he's got Butter Sword. It's only 3 hits with Butter Sword, if I'm not mistaken.
Although the Fire Rod strats are good because you can hit Mothula from a distance. You're not worried about the knockback. But with Red Mail and all these hearts, I wouldn't be too terribly concerned about it. There goes the moth. WeffJebster heading down to Vitreous.
Yeah, Mothula give him a little bit of trouble because the spikes, if he touches the spikes that aren't moving, he doesn't take damage. It makes it a little trickier. But he got through no problem, and he's on his way to Death Mountain to take care of Turtle Rock.
So, yes, Supercar's going to have, I'm going to say, about a minute lead here on WeffJebster. Maybe a little bit more. And, something controlling could still happen in Turtle Rock. The small key could be on Laser Bridge, right?
Yep, There's a lot of things that could still happen to give Jebster a chance to catch up if he plays this, if he executes correctly. At this point, we're looking at pure execution from these two runners to see which one gets to the end first. Supercar may have a good lead, but if his execution isn't on point and Jebster's is, he could catch up.
And WeffJebster, look at this. He's got 2.5 hearts for the Vitreous fight.
Yeah, but he has
the
half magic and the
small
cape,
part.
so...
Yep. There it goes.
So Jebster not too far behind here. This could be his chance to catch up.
Got the same climb up to Death Mountain that Supercar is doing right now, though.
At this point, it's down to Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower to see which one wins this race, because, like you said, Small Key could be in a trolley place in Turtle Rock, and of course, proper routing in Death Mountain could be the edge. If the big key's on one side, whoever goes that way will have the lead.
Don't forget as well that at this point, we do not have silvers, so silverless, even with Buttersword, Red Mail, 13 hearts, silverless can always fall. There's always a lot of room for error in silverless.
Indeed, and with as close as this race is getting, it's like I said, it's not over until we see a dot done from one of these runners. So this is still anybody's race.
All right, so Supercar is going to walk into Turtle Rock at essentially 146. We'll see how WeffJebster does.
Of course, WeffJebster having a little bit of trouble here and there with those dead rocks. Probably the most annoying. I call those the official mascot of the randomizer because they are the biggest trolls you will ever find. Unkillable and can always block your path at any time.
Well, they're killable with powder, but otherwise, yes.
Yeah, very few runners waste their time using the powder on those things. So yeah, biggest trolls in the entire game as far as I'm concerned. And Jebster now making his way into Turtle Rock here right now. He's not as far behind as you would think. For a while it looked like he was far behind, but now he is caught up relatively quick. So this is a closer race than most of us probably expected.
About a minute 15 seconds. Remember, Supercar went into Turtle Rock at about 146 on the dot. WeffJebster goes into Turtle Rock at 147.20, so about a minute 20 seconds.
And that is not a very wide gap because one knock off of a ledge from either Ganon or Troll Tor or Moldorm 2 could give Jebster more than enough time to catch up. So this is a close race.
Anybody's race. No, you'll note there Supercar using the nice clutch fairy for Supercar there as well. But Supercar using the fire rod on the pokies because with half magic you can afford to do that. Does kill the pokies in one hit with no danger of rebounding parts. Supercar taking a hit from the chain chomps, the hardest hitting enemies in the game other than Ganon himself.
Yeah, even with Red Mail, those guys can do at least a good 3 hearts of damage per hit, so you got to be careful of those guys. But he gets through without too much more trouble and making his way further in.
Mario level pokies, chain chomps, lava, pipes.
And a giant turtle-like being at the end, even though it's a 3-headed one. Tried to get that pokey before it hit the bunny beam, got him, but couldn't quite finish the job.
Taking some significant damage here in Turtle Rock.
It's a good thing he stocked up on those potions when he did.
Now he's already used one of them. With Buttersword, a single spin will take out the pokies as well, but it's still not going to be as fast as the fire rod. WeffJebster also taking a hit to the the chain chomps, having a little bit of difficulty with them. He's going to get hit again. Yep.
Cutting that a little
WeffJebster.
close there.
Whew.
Obviously, since we're in go mode, Mimic Cave not going to get checked. No need to check that. And Vanilla Riot Shield.
Loves the Riot Shield.
So that's 2 vanilla items in this run. Actually, technically 3 because the hook shot. So yeah, 3 vanilla items on this scene. That's rare.
No trollier place to find an item than in its vanilla location.
I could not have said it better myself. I've said that plenty of times myself. Ooh, Supercar jumped off his platform a little early, so he couldn't get back on. So he's gonna have to start back from the beginning on that one. I've never seen that happen before.
Yeah, he used the hook shot. I see what he's doing. He's using the hook shot to avoid the fire, and he used the hook shot to get across. But yeah, that's a method, I guess. Now, he does not need to do laser skip room. He's got a key. Is he hoping for silvers? Possibly. Supercar is not confident. Oh, he's got 1 potion left. Maybe he's trying to avoid using it so he can suicide here with a safety and refill.
That would be the only thing I could think of, but he's still going to check the laser bridge while he's here, and he's got his other small key now.
Yeah, so maybe he is looking for silvers. Maybe he is not comfortable in his ability to do silverless Ganon. And Weff doing Mimic Cave. There's the wrong cane. And yeah, Supercar taking the death there. It will serve as a bit of a health refill, actually. Don't know why WeffJebster checked Mimic Cave. This is maybe both of our runners are not confident in their ability to do a silverless Ganon.
That would be my guess. That's the only thing I can think of, but we still had not seen them, and we've checked every dungeon, so I'm guessing silvers are going to be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I can't think of a single place that hasn't been checked right now.
The question is yeah, but the question is where in Ganon's tower is it, and are they going to find them before they find the big key? Because odds are good if they find the big key, they're not going to search any further in.
Because as chat rightly points out, there's still the Ether and Bombos tablets that have not been checked because of how late Book was in the game.
Yeah, and at best, I'd say Supercar might check the Ether tablet, but probably not going to check Bombo's tablet at this point.
Same with Fat Fairy. So there's only a few locations that haven't been checked. WeffJebster too, checking the laser skip bridge.
Yeah, very unusual run you were seeing from these guys at the end.
Yeah, and if WeffJebster had opted not to check this, I mean, he would have made up 15-20 seconds or more on Supercar, but as it is now, he does not have nearly as much trouble with the room as Supercar, so he falls off there, but he did not have nearly as much trouble with the laser room as Supercar, so he did make up a few seconds, but it is Ganon's Tower time. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower in which the big key could be. What is your guess? I got 13.
I'm gonna go 10. I don't know. It's tricky on this one, but first he's gonna check the Hookshot Cave since it's on the way. And there's the silvers!
Oh my! Wow.
Talk about a lucky call there. He is prepped. He has everything he needs now. We now know where they are, and I'm almost certain WeffJebster's not going to check the Hookshot Cave. And if he, but it,
yeah, Supercar's locked, cocked, and ready to rock, man. That's wow.
Supercar has made several gambles this run, and all of them have paid off big time for him. So, yeah, holy cow.
With doubt either one of our runners are going to finish under 2 hours, but now WeffJebster smartly there saying, I'm running out of life on Trinex.
Supercar starting on the right side, but even though he had the small key, he's opting to go left side instead. So 20 rupees on the torch, so Bob's gonna live today.
Yeah, not only is Bob gonna live, but this gives an opportunity here. If the key is right side, and WeffJebster goes right side, he could be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, this could change. This is what I said earlier. This routing could change the course of this race really quickly.
He is not going to get silver arrows, though. So at this point, it seems like his best hope right now is to go right side. Let's see if he does.
Yep, still no sign of the big key yet for Supercar. And we're up to coming up on chest number 8 here. So let's see if he made the right call. Nope, another small key so far.
Right, moment of truth here for WeffJebster. He gets his 300. He gets his small key. Where does he go? He is not going up. Right. All right, so now it is going to take mistakes on Supercar's part for WeffJebster to win this race.
Pretty much. Well, not so much mistakes, just a lack of trolling. You know, if Trolldorm or Ganon decide to hug him, that could cost him. But other than that, I don't see any way for WeffJebster to catch up.
Again, though, we have seen stranger things happen. Ganon hugs, Ganon knocking somebody off the platform during stage 3. Much less likely to happen since Supercar has silver arrows, but it could happen. And don't forget that WeffJebster does not have silvers.
There's the big key, chest number 11, if I've read that right.
I stopped counting, but Supercar going to start his climb up the gauntlet. He has a bottle of green goo. He's got one bottle of blue goo that I know of. He may have a second bottle of blue goo.
Yep. Now Supercar going to be making his way towards the top of Ganon's tower through the gauntlet. Wow, this has been an amazing race so far. This is probably one of the closest races I've called since my time doing this one.
Supercar having some significant difficulty here in the Gaia Crystal Room. All right, he makes it out.
That Mimic trolled him a little bit there.
He's got the silver, so these two Gaias are going to be no sweaty da. Mainly because he can block their fireballs with the riot shield. I believe that was a change that the randomizer devs made. If you get the mirror shield, it will block those, but it did not block them, I don't believe, in the vanilla version.
Not that I recall. But yeah, this has been an amazing race so far. Just seeing these two guys go at it, their execution, the gambles, especially for Supercar, and how they paid off so well for him in this run. So this is amazing to watch.
Yeah, both of these runners were very well matched in skill level and routing. Just WeffJebster, I think he knew he needed to do Agahnim earlier on in the game, but I think it was just knowing that if he did Agahnim and it didn't pay off, that would put him at a 3 to 5 minute disadvantage against his opponent just right off the bat. So
yeah, if he had done Agahnim sooner, he probably would be the one in the lead right now. But yeah, that's one of those big gambles. Like, do you really want to risk that not paying off? So it was an okay call for him. It just wasn't the right call.
Okay, so So Hiei correcting us, Riot Shield does in fact block the Garai's fireballs in vanilla, but the change that they made then would be that having the Riot Shield block the Wizrobe's beams. Is that correct, Hiei? There's a Supercar on Moldorms too, or not Landmala's too. Making relatively short work of them. Just 2 hits with the gold sword. WeffJebster starting his gauntlet and getting trolled by the Stallchilds.
Those Stallchilds can be a pain because they jump right out of your way. You got to get right up on them or hit them close enough. So you got to be good. But he is slowly but surely catching up. So it's coming down to execution right now.
It seems WeffJebster has a little bit better execution here in Ganon's Tower than Supercar. But I just don't know if it's going to be enough to overcome the silvers versus spins dynamic here.
That is going to be what makes the difference here, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the chat's reminding us, at this point it comes down to the trolliness of either Moldorm 2 or Ganon to make the difference here. If Supercar falls to either one of them, that could be Jebster's chance to catch up and take this, but with his execution thus far, that's not entirely likely to happen.
Supercar has shown where he has had some moments of not the best execution, let's say. He has shown, however, that he is pretty darn good at the boss battles. But getting trolled there by the bomb throw on the conveyor, that has happened to all of us.
That room is never fun. Oh! Trollstorm being extra trolly there, just went right for him.
Wow. Well, there's one thing that could allow WeffJebster a couple seconds to catch up. Misses the first dash, cancels the second one, misses the second dash. You only need 2 swipes with the butter sword. Don't even need a spin because spins and slashes do the same damage with butter sword. Having some trouble with Trolldorm 2 here. He's missing him again.
Finally gets him down there, but that took a while. Again, more and more chances for Jebster to catch up here.
Yeah, WeffJebster's only 2 rooms behind now, and Supercar hits the validation chest. It's only 2 hams.
Not really a surprise. There's really not much else they could have found, aside from maybe the boomerang or the powder. Supercar is going to have to be extra careful here. He's going into Aga 2 with only a heart and a half, so he's going to have to be extra careful. Oh, no, he's not risking it. He's healing up.
I can't blame him at all. Yeah, WeffJebster did not get the full magic pot over there. Now, I think he has a green goo, so...
Yeah, they both picked up the green goo from the rando room right before the big key, so he'll have enough magic. But then again, that, yeah, aside from
a double second round on, sorry to interrupt, he gets a double second round in Aga 1. It's a single there, so I think it's 1-2-1.
But he gets the triple on that last one there, so he is done with Aga 2. It's time for the big pig.
Yeah, very nice Aga 2 there by Supercar. But look, WeffJebster right behind. He is also a heart and a half going into Aga 2, but I don't think he has any heal.
So he's gonna have to be extra careful. Ooh, that's very bad. Yeah, he has no way to heal, so he's gonna have to be very careful from here on out. If he takes another hit, he is down, and that's the end of his run.
He got a double there on. Oh, but he has the cane, but he's gonna need magic for Ganon to light the lamp.
He's probably going to be using that green potion before he fights Ganon, that's for sure. But he takes care of it, so he's on his way to Ganon now. Meanwhile, Supercar is starting his fight, and with the Butter Sword and the Cave, he's going to have no trouble getting through these first phases. At this point, it's going to take a fall by Supercar to lose this race. That's as much, because I think Jebster's going to have to heal, going to find that fairy in the tree first before he can fight Ganon.
Yeah, it's gonna take more than one fall, I think. You know, minor little mistake here. If you hit Ganon early enough, you can get a double or a triple silver arrow in before you even have to light the torch. So. Don't blame Supercar, though, playing it safe.
Yeah, not getting the torch glitch, so he's going to have to do this the hard way. But with silvers, it's not that big of a deal.
You tried for a double there, but you can only get the double on the horizontal axis, not the vertical axis. At least not there. As soon as Ganon hits the edge, you cannot get a second hit with the silver arrows.
Supercar having a little trouble keeping those torches lit while trying to take out Ganon, so that's going to, again, small chances for Jebster to catch up, but without those silvers, Supercar has to fall for Jebster to catch up.
And he's only got to hit Ganon one more time.
Supercar opting to use one of his potions to keep himself in good shape. It's probably not a bad idea, just to be safe. You don't want to mess up now.
Oh, he missed. Not get Ganon to turn blue. Oh, whoa, he has got to hit him again. I thought he only had one more. Supercar having some trouble with the big pig here. That looks like that will do it, though.
That's it.
All right, as soon as he walks in, we will have his official SRL time.
Actually, I've got it right here. Supercar finishing with official SRL time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 40 seconds. GG to Supercar.
Congratulations to Supercar. He wins this match over WeffJebster. But WeffJebster's still going here. Let's see if he... Now, he has no magic, but I believe he does have green goo. So let us see if WeffJebster can come out victorious here against the big pig. Relatively certain he can, but how good are his silverless strats? And he gets the torch glitch, does not get the first hit, does not get the second either. There's one. Takes 12 spins for silverless Ganon.
Indeed, and we're going to try to get Supercar in here for a chat here shortly. Again, GG to him. We'll see if Jebster can finish up shortly as well.
WeffJebster clearly understands silverless, but don't think he has had terribly much practice with this. All right, yeah, there he goes. Now he's getting in. Now he's getting in the right rhythm and in the right.
Now he's getting in.
Oh. I don't know how many that is, but WeffJebster, if he just stays calm, all right. He's. I don't know if he's watching his SRL chat. If he already knows he's lost, then. You know, he can just stay calm and fix this, and get this done here. But I imagine if he's not watching his SRL chat, his heart is probably going about 125 beats a minute right now.
I know mine certainly would be.
Yeah.
And there we go. WeffJebster finishing up. Nicely done there, sir. Jebster finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 2 seconds.
Very nicely done. Good job by both these guys. Hey, I've said before, I'll say it again. Give these guys a follow here on Twitch. They have been putting in some amazing work for you guys' entertainment. Give them a follow. They deserve it. GG's to both of our runners here. The difference in their official SRL times was 2 minutes 22 seconds. Excellent job by both our runners.
Definitely. But again, like I said, I've done at least 3 or 4. This is my 4th or 5th race now, and that is the closest one I have seen thus far. Very nicely done. And both our runners getting ready to come in here in just a minute. Very amazing race to watch.
So, 2-hour seed. All dungeons were required. All of our runners at least went into all dungeons. So it was almost an all dungeons run. I imagine with stats here, we will be very close to all 216 item locations.
Yeah, that
very
was
good race between these two.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, crazy race from start to finish there. Oh man, I'm exhausted just watching that. I can only imagine what's going through our race runners' minds right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right. See if I can pull these guys in.
Hello.
Hello there, Weff. Good GG, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we are joined by both WeffJebster and ItsSupercar. ItsSupercar, congratulations on your victory. 2 minutes, 22 seconds separated the two of you in what turned out to be a nearly all dungeons required seed. Very well done by both of you, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, so WeffJebster, you really don't like doing Agahnim 1, do you?
I really don't.
We could tell.
I could to not do Aga 1.
I would say, unfortunately, that was what cost. I think that at the end of the day was what cost you. If you had done that just a little sooner, you probably would have had this race.
Yeah, like when I went to Hyrule Castle the second time and to go down and get like Zelda's chest, I was like, you know what? I might as well just go fight Agahnim, and I should have. But oh well.
Yeah, my thinking when I went to go fight Agahnim was like usually I'm the same as WeffJebster. I don't like to go after Agahnim until I've checked nearly everything, because usually, you know, maybe there's just one chest that has what you need to skip him. But I was thinking, well, I knew there was a sword upgrade in Lumberjack Cave, so I thought that would be my consolation prize if it turned out to be a mistake. And I was at Hyrule Castle anyway, so I thought, yeah, might as well do this.
So, Supercar, you made a much earlier play on Swamp Palace. What was going through your mind when you found Ether, Cane of Samaria, and the Hookshot all in Pendant Swamp?
Relief, because honestly, I wouldn't even call that a gamble. That was kind of a mistake that panned out. I can get a bit stubborn with my routing. Like I'll see sort of a chain of items I can get, and I'll go, oh, I can go stop at this dungeon as I'm doing that chain of items. And stepping into Pendant Swamp was kind of a result of that. I don't think it's something I would have normally done if I hadn't got it in my head that I was going to follow this route through the Dark World and get X item and Y item and then stop there. So I was really, really lucky that it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll start with WeffJebster to you first, but also this will go to Supercar once you've answered. both of you gentlemen were in go mode, had the key to go through to Turtle Rock and skip the laser room, yet both of you went to the laser room. My assumption is you were looking for silver arrows.
Yeah, I figured, if silvers are in that hallway there, the laser hallway, it's a pretty quick hallway to check when you have mirror shield. So if one of those 4 chests is silvers, I've saved myself a lot of time in the Ganon fight.
Yeah, that
Same
was my
for you,
thinking.
Supercar?
Exactly.
But Supercar did make the decision to go back into Hookshot Cave, which is where the silver arrows were, WeffJebster.
I almost went in there. That's people who have seen me run Rando. They know that's my favorite cave in the whole world. I love that cave. Yeah, I really thought about doing it, but I thought I was further behind than I actually was. When the 2-hour mark hit and Supercar hadn't finished yet, I was like, "Holy crap! I might actually have a shot at this?" ?
There was a time when Supercar seemed to have a significant lead, but WeffJebster, particularly your gauntlet, you caught up with Supercar. Supercar had a little bit of problem, fell to Troll Dorm 2.
Oh.
But so yeah, tell us about your gauntlet, Supercar.
I didn't think it was that notable. I thought that I did lose to Troll Dorm, but I don't think my gauntlet felt like I was lagging too much otherwise. The main thing where I was getting really annoyed at the end was when I was fighting Ganon. I kind of had the torches desync, so there was only a very short window where I had both lit at once, and it was driving me nuts. So,
yeah, we did notice that. That was, it was like, oh man, that had to hurt.
Yeah, at one point I tried to stop and wait for both to go out, light both. Somehow that didn't fix it. So yeah, it was driving me up the wall. That was where I was really feeling the tension. Like, okay, my opponent could beat me any second if I keep beefing this.
Well, runners, again, amazing job, and for all of you guys in the chat, please make sure to give these guys a follow here. They are putting in work for your entertainment. Very good race between the two of you. WeffJebster, let you have the last word before we sign off here, and let you say some final words before we sign off. Obviously, Supercar gets the last word before we sign off.
Yeah, my final words are: I fake flippered everywhere I could except for Ice Palace, and I should have fake flippered Ice Palace.
Alright, it's Supercar to you before the Shades and I sign off today.
I would say just thanks for the stream. It was a great race. Thanks to WeffJebster for keeping it close, and good game.
Oh yeah, good game, man. That was real thrilling, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun for us to watch. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thanks a lot, and take care.
Glad to do it.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this particular round of the 2017 Link to the Past Fall Randomizer Tournament. There is more Randomizer going on all over the place. We got another one over on Randomizer Mania 2 right now, also on Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 3. We will have matches coming up later on today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so keep your nose to the grindstone. Keep watching Speed Gaming 1 through 4 and Randomizer Mania 1 through 4 for all of your 2017 Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament action needs. The Shades, my commentary partner here. I'll go ahead and let you sign us off. I am Phantom Ryu saying, everybody have a good night. It is late here in Qatar, and I'm an old man who needs my sleep. So thank you for your attention, and have a good day, everyone.
Indeed, thank you guys. And as always like to say, rock on, guys.